G'day, Simon. Rude Mummy here from News Talk ZB Sport in Auckland. Hope you're well, mate. I guess just from our end over here, the interest on you've added Mike to the team, and then you've had Yanni make his professional debut for the Phoenix the other night and have a pretty good outing. Just what have you noticed from Yanni? I know he's in the room, but you don't mind talking about him in front of him.
Mate, we got half of New Zealand here, so it's all good, mate. I'll speak to Jan. I'll pretend he's not sitting next to me. Look, his performance was great. It's hard to believe he's a debutant sometimes as a professional. He's been playing at such a high level of practice that I forget how young the man is. So his performance was excellent. We were just having a discussion about it just prior to coming into this, actually. And he's a perfectionist, and he's a little disappointed in missing a few free throws down the stretch. But I think if you take that away and you just encompass the whole performance, I think from a defensive standpoint, he was pretty solid. Made a few miscues early in our pick and roll defense, but from after that couple of mistakes, he was really solid. Provided some rim protection, some great rebounding, and his scoring was really fluent. So a wonderful performance by Yanni, and that's kind of what we expect of him because we know he can produce that on a regular basis.
And when you're working with a new player, when they make their first appearance in a regular season game, how important is it to have that sort of blueprint to work from? How do you look to use that to build?
Yeah, well, he set the bar pretty high, and that's the expectation of him now. Look, we've five or six games into a pre-season, so there was a little bit of familiarity. I know what to expect from Yanni. We've got some pretty good, solid backup for him too. I think the main important thing is with any new guys into our league is to try and stay out of foul trouble. We saw with Ben Moore in his debut the other night that he struggled with that. We've had games in the pre-season where that's been an issue for our bigs, and I thought Yanni did a really good job of maintaining his discipline and keeping his hands out and not giving the referees any excuse to blow cheap ones on him.
And just finally, I guess the Kiwi influence in there, you talk about it as a bit of it, but they seem to be clicking right.
Yeah, they're not a bad mob, the Kiwis. We like them. Yeah, we've got a few. Obviously, Judd Flavel is my assistant, and Yanni, and then Mike, and we've got Isaiah as one of our DPs as well. So it's we've got a few key. Oh, and Ruben Tarangi as well. So yeah, we've got a few, and we're proud of the work that they've been putting in, and we know that they're going to continue with that. Rubes had a bit of struggle on the other night with his offensive performance, but I thought defensively he was pretty strong for most of the game and has been brilliant in pre-season. So yeah, we got high expectations of our friends from the south.
Cheers to that, Simon. All the best tomorrow.
Cheers, Ruben.
Sweet. I just got a couple. Firstly, just with the double OT, obviously pretty long game to start after 336 days off from a regular season game. How's the group pulled up physically?
No, the group's fine. Obviously, you got to take a little precautions after an extended game like that. But having, Avnish Kumar has gone through, our physio has gone through the group. The guys have been compliant with their rehabilitation, and they're ready to go. We're ready to get that second game, and it can't come soon enough. We're a little disappointed at the fact that we left 14 points at the free throw line, missed a whole bunch of dollies around the basket, and some open jump shots as well. So we want to get ourselves and blew some defensive assignments, which is probably the most important part for us. So the guys are just focused on getting back on the floor and getting another shot at Adelaide.
And as you were saying before, Ben Moore experienced a bit of foul trouble in his debut. Do we expect him to have a bigger role this game if he keeps out of foul trouble?
Oh, without a doubt. Ben's been phenomenal in pre-season, and he's so versatile for us, playing minutes at the five. I mean, when Yanni takes a break and Ben comes in, there's absolutely no let up at all, and there's a different dynamic there as well. And then when he comes in for Creaky, the same thing. Creaky's one of the best players in the league, but I feel like Ben's his equal at the 4 spot as well. So he's a hell of a basketball player, and it's unfortunate that the league didn't get to, or the fans of the league didn't get to see the best of Ben Moore the other night. But I'm sure we'll get to see him tomorrow.
And just lastly, what's the focus been at training this week to turn around? Obviously, you've spoken about the shooting and the defensive assignments, but is there anything else been spoken about to turn around tomorrow night?
Yeah, no. So, I mean, shooting's an obvious one, but it's not we don't concern ourselves with that too much. I mean, when good shooters miss good shots, you just put it in the back pocket and move on. There was some defensive breakdowns that we had. Overall, I thought defensively we were pretty strong. You keep a team to 89 points, and I thought, with the pace that we play at, there's a high possession game. I thought that wasn't too bad, but it was the breakdowns that we had in there. I thought offensively we struggled at times to find momentum, and I thought that led to us with some turnovers, which were converted to some easy buckets down the stretch in the overtime. But for us, it was more about making sure that we got our scout right. Adelaide, you got to tip the hat. They were phenomenal from mid-range. We've made a few adjustments to make sure that those mid-range jump shots are a little bit more contested. But I think about 40% of their field goals came from mid-range, which is a really high count. And usually when you get a team in that situation, to be shooting those low percentage shots, that you find yourself, with a favourite, a better outcome than what we came across. But they shot the crap out of it at that point. So, you tip your hat, but we've got to make some adjustments to make those shots a little bit more difficult too.
G'day, Yanni. Ruben here from Newstalk ZB in Auckland. Hope you're well, mate, and congrats on the official debut for the Phoenix the other night. Great game. I guess for yourself, how was it to get out there and to get that first run on the board?
Yeah, it felt great. I mean, first game under the lights, first official game with fans and over 10 months. That was thrilling. It was awesome to be out there under the lights again. I think it was a decent performance, but like Coach touched on, didn't quite put the complete package together. And the most important thing is winning. So it's a little frustrating that we didn't come away with that when we had plenty of opportunities down the line. But you got to take what you can get from it and move forward. And we're just looking forward to the next matchup. And like Coach also said, it can't come soon enough.
Yeah, excellent. I mean, from boards and then point scoring output, how happy were you with that?
Yeah, no, it was a good effort. I think the guards found me in a lot of good places. Creaky had a couple dump offs. I think it comes from those guys being such good players. They attract so much attention that my man kind of has to help, and they can find the dump off, and they were falling for me. So from that point of view, yeah, it was a great game and great confidence booster for me as a first year pro, and I'm looking forward to moving on now.
Simon talked about the fact that you're a perfectionist. So when you look back at the tape and you, I guess, play everything over your mind after the game, what are you looking to build on to just keep going forward? Yeah,
just looking at spots that I can rotate to, find more availability when other guys on the team drive, see if I can get into open spots where they can find me. I definitely still left a few points on the board, a couple chippies around the rim that I still missed. And then obviously down the line, on the most important plays, I didn't come through. So something I definitely want to improve on and hopefully never have that mistake again.
Yeah, and then defensively, I mean, in terms of pace and setting out in this sort of league, how do you find all that?
Yeah, I'm loving it. It's a fast-paced league, up and down, high scoring. I think the rest are told that they want a lot of points on the board, so they're going to call a lot of nitpicky fouls. So I'm kind of learning that, play with my hands up, and sometimes you got to let some things go through. Most important to make sure you're on the floor when you're needed. So I'm just being smart with that and taking my time throughout this preseason to adjust. And I think I've kind of picked things up nicely. But yeah, looking forward to moving forward with that.
Yeah, and what have you found in terms of, it's been obviously the last 12 months, a bit of a whirlwind for yourself, a bit going on, but to be in here and to be committed for this season ahead, is that kind of quite exciting to see what you can get out of it? Yeah,
it's been a roller coaster of a year for me, but I'm very stoked to be in the situation I'm in now with wholesome people, down-to-earth people, and a good group from top to tail, from front office to coaches and the players. And I'm honestly just stoked with the situation that I'm in. Couldn't be more pleased coming from a lot of lows and very different things that I've faced throughout the year. I'm just happy that I'm in a good situation now.
And just finally, I talked to Simon about the Kiwi influence. There's quite a few around. Does it make you feel kind of at home, even though you've been in different parts of the world?
Yeah, that's a big thing too. I haven't played, down under in over 6 years. So, I mean, just even from the culture standpoint, the laughs, all the little things, the cliches. It's nice to be back down under and playing and being around those guys that all have that same sense of humor and that culture and the way they go about things too. So, yeah.
Excellent. Thanks, Yanni. All the best for the season.
Thanks, Rubes. Cheers.
I just got a couple before we finish here, Yanni. Just playing with Kiefer firstly. He looked bloody lightning quick the other night. Have you ever played with a point guard that's so quick and can find you in those kind of spots?
Oh, probably not at that level of quickness. No, he's a special talent. Definitely never played with someone that fast, and he opens up a lot for everyone else around him. So, he's been awesome.
And just lastly, the morale of the boys. It's been a while on the road, and you've still got, I think, 3 road games to come. How are you all kind of feeling in the?
Yeah, honestly, I'm loving it. I think we're building a really strong camaraderie, and with the group of guys we got, there's not many egos on this team, so not many, if any, really. So it's been great. Everyone's kind of bought in. And Simon's talked about, the more adversity we face, I think the more better off we're going to be, because that's the type of teammates that we have, type of guys that we have in this organization. So, I think we've come together really nicely, and guys are all hanging out off the court and doing things together, and we've really come together as a unit. And we can't wait to display it on the court.